Two job candidates sit in identical waiting rooms. Both have the same qualifications. Both prepared equally well for their interviews. Both answered questions with similar competence, yet one walks away with an offer, while the other receives a polite rejection. Every day, decisions that should be based on merit, character, or competence are unconsciously swayed by physical appearance. The beautiful receive benefits they did not earn. The plain face obstacles they do not deserve. And most disturbing of all, those making these biased judgments remain convinced they are being fair and rational. Attractive defendants are 65% less likely to be found guilty of the same crimes. Attractive individuals often develop inflated self-confidence not because of their accomplishments, but because of the constant positive feedback their appearance generates. They must work harder to prove their competence, charm, and value. When attractive people receive better opportunities, they often do perform better, not because of superior ability, but because of superior circumstances. Was their physical appearance a factor in that instant positive impression? Studies show that attractive employees are more likely to be hired, promoted, and forgiven for mistakes. But this advantage comes with its own psychological costs. Beautiful workers may never know whether their success stems from their abilities or their looks. Even when people consciously recognize that appearance should not matter, they continue to make biased judgments. The bias operates at such a fundamental level of cognition that conscious correction requires enormous ongoing effort. Blind auditions revolutionized orchestra hiring by removing visual cues. Anonymous review processes help focus attention on ideas rather than their sources. The faces you encounter in others are poor predictors of the qualities that matter most for human flourishing. The answer may reveal more about the hidden architecture of human judgment than you expected to discover. Character, wisdom, creativity, and compassion cannot be assessed through physical features. Yet the ancient circuits of attraction continue to whisper their misleading assessments, shaping judgments in ways that would horrify us if they were conscious and explicit. Structured interviews with predetermined criteria reduce the impact of first impressions. It is easier to acknowledge that other people are influenced by looks while remaining blind to your own susceptibility. They may develop imposter syndrome, wondering if they truly deserve their achievements. Society misallocates opportunities. Talent goes unrecognized, and individuals struggle with distorted self-perception. The beautiful carry the burden of never knowing their true worth, while the plain carry the burden of having to prove it repeatedly. Others may dismiss their accomplishments as products of favoritism rather than merit. Recall a time when you felt inexplicably distrustful of someone within moments of meeting them. Platforms built around visual presentation have made appearance-based judgment a constant, pervasive force in daily life. People curate their images with increasing sophistication, understanding intuitively that how they look will determine how they are perceived across virtually every domain of their existence. Did their looks influence that gut reaction? Most people discover, when they examine these moments honestly, that appearance played a larger role in their judgments than they want to admit. Their success then appears to validate the original bias. When less attractive people receive fewer chances, their limited achievements seem to confirm negative assumptions about their capabilities. They encounter subtle rejections and dismissals that erode confidence over time. Some develop what researchers call compensatory excellence, pushing themselves to extraordinary achievement in order to overcome the disadvantage of their appearance. They may genuinely believe they are more capable or deserving than they actually are, having internalized the biased treatment they receive as accurate assessment of their worth. Beautiful employees earn significantly more money for identical work performance. Good-looking students receive better grades even when their actual academic output is controlled for quality. Politicians with more symmetrical faces win elections at higher rates, regardless of their policy positions or qualifications. The hiring manager believes they chose the best candidate. The decision feels completely objective. In prehistoric environments, physical beauty often signaled health, fertility, and genetic fitness. These associations became so deeply embedded in human psychology that they now trigger automatic responses even in contexts where appearance has no relevance whatsoever. The brain that evolved to make split-second survival decisions about potential mates and allies now applies those same shortcuts to job interviews, criminal trials, and academic evaluations. But beneath their conscious reasoning, an ancient bias has shaped their choice based on nothing more than facial symmetry and pleasant features. This is not an isolated incident. It is a glimpse into one of the most pervasive, yet invisible forces shaping human judgment. Physical attractiveness operates like a cognitive hijacker, overriding logical assessment with emotional impulses that trace back millions of years. The halo effect demonstrates how powerfully appearance distorts perception across multiple domains. When someone is physically attractive, people automatically assume they are also more intelligent, more trustworthy, more competent, and more moral. These assumptions happen so quickly and feel so natural that they seem like objective observations rather than biased projections. The attractive person becomes surrounded by an invisible aura of positive traits that have nothing to do with their actual abilities or character. Research reveals the extent of this distortion with uncomfortable precision. But the most insidious aspect of appearance bias is how it shapes the internal experiences of both the beautiful and the plain. Meanwhile, those who do not fit conventional beauty standards face a different psychological burden. The tragedy lies in how this bias becomes self-perpetuating. Consider how this dynamic operates in your own life. Think of someone you found immediately likable upon first meeting. The workplace becomes a particularly complex arena for appearance bias. Social media has amplified these dynamics to unprecedented levels. Yet awareness of this bias does not automatically eliminate its influence. The most profound insight may be recognizing that everyone loses when judgment becomes distorted by appearance. True wisdom lies not in pretending that physical attraction does not influence us, but in developing systems that account for this bias. Perhaps the deepest recognition is that the face you see in the mirror. The next time you find yourself forming an instant impression of someone, pause and ask what role their appearance might be playing in your assessment.